You know, most people walk through life thinking they know who they are. They wear a smile, they play a role, they speak a language the world wants to hear. But deep down, there's another version of them quietly watching from the shadows. The version they don't show, the one they keep locked behind the laughter, behind the confidence, behind the perfectly curated mask. That's asterisk, the hidden self asterisk, and the truth about who you really are. It's not found in the light, it's revealed in the dark. See, everybody wants to talk about self, love self, care self, growth, but no one wants to face the parts of themselves that are broken, jealous, insecure, or angry. We talk about becoming the best version of ourselves, but you can't become your best until you've met your worst. That hidden side of you, the one that shows up when no one's watching, that's the real test. That's the truth most people run from, because it's uncomfortable, it's ugly, it's raw, but it's real. There's a moment in every person's life when they have to look in the mirror and ask asterisk, who am I really? Asterisk, not who I pretend to be, not who they told me I should be, not who I show the world online. Who am asterisk I asterisk when everything is stripped away? When the applause stops, when the lights go out, when the world doesn't care anymore, because that's when your hidden self comes out to speak. That's when the truth walks in, and that truth, it doesn't whisper politely. It confronts you, it challenges you, it reminds you of the promises you broke, the fears you buried, the people you hurt, the dreams you gave up on. It doesn't flatter you, it exposes you. It doesn't care about your titles, your money, your image. It only cares about your soul, the raw, unfiltered, unapologetic version of it. We live in a world obsessed with perception. Everybody wants to look right instead of asterisk, be asterisk right. But life isn't a photo shoot. Life is a fight between the mask you wear and the person you're meant to become. Every day, you either feed your light or your shadow, and the crazy thing, the world can't see your shadow, but they feel it. It's in the way you walk into a room, it's in your silence, it's in your energy. You can't hide it forever. So many people spend their entire lives pretending to be fine, pretending to be strong, pretending to be happy. But deep inside, their hidden self is screaming, begging to be acknowledged. Because the truth about who you really are isn't what you show on your best day. It's what you choose to do on your worst. That's where the transformation begins, not in the spotlight, but in the darkness you refuse to face. The real you isn't waiting in the world's applause. The real you is waiting in the silence, in the pain, in the mistakes, in the moments no one sees. And until you're brave enough to face that version of yourself, you'll never truly know who you are. Most people spend their whole lives running from the person they truly are. They show the world what's acceptable, what's likable, what fits the story. But deep inside, there's a version of them that carries the truth, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, the guilt they never talk about. Facing that version isn't easy because it doesn't clap for you. It doesn't comfort you. It exposes you. It shows you every flaw you tried to bury and every wound you tried to forget. When you face that part of yourself, it's like standing in front of a mirror that can't lie. You see everything, the pride, the pain, the pretender. But that's where the real power begins, because what you hide controls you, but what you confront frees you. The world teaches you to avoid discomfort, to keep the mask on, to stay polished. But the truth is, healing starts when pretending stops. You can't grow through what you won't look at. The hidden version of you, the one you silence when people are around, that's the version that knows what you truly need. That's the version that holds your real strength. The day you face that version of yourself without fear, without denial, without excuses, is the day you stop living a performance and start living with purpose. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about finally seeing who's been waiting underneath the surface all along. Growth isn't born in comfort. It's born in confrontation. You can read all the books, listen to all the speeches, and repeat every affirmation, but until you face the darkness inside you, you'll never truly evolve. That darkness is where your fears live, where your regrets echo, where your pain hides. It's the side of you that remembers every failure, every rejection, every disappointment. Most people try to escape it by staying busy, chasing success, or pretending everything is fine. But the darkness doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It waits, it whispers. It reminds you that real strength isn't about shining all the time. It's about being brave enough to walk through the shadows. True growth begins when you sit with your pain instead of running from it. when you question your habits, your choices, your motives. It happens when you stop blaming others and start taking responsibility for what's yours. Growth requires honesty, not the kind you share with others, but the kind you admit to yourself when nobody's listening. The darkness isn't there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. Every scar, every mistake, every moment you thought would break you, that's where your character is built. The light you're looking for will always be found on the other side of that darkness. The more you resist it, the longer you stay trapped by it. The moment you face it, you begin to rise beyond it every day. People wake up and put on their mask before they step out the door. A smile that hides exhaustion, confidence that covers fear, kindness that conceals pain. The world rewards appearances, not authenticity, and so we learn to play the part. But that mask you wear, it's heavy. It protects you, but it also limits you. It keeps you from being seen, from being known, from being real. When you live behind it for too long, you start forgetting who you actually are. You begin to measure your worth by how others see you instead of how you see yourself. The mask becomes your comfort zone, your armor, your disguise. But it's also your prison. You can't heal what you hide. You can't grow when you're pretending. Every time you silence your true voice just to fit in, you lose a piece of yourself. The path to authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about admitting when you're wrong, vulnerable, afraid, and still standing tall in that truth. The mask may keep you safe from judgment, but it also keeps you away from connection. Real connection only happens when you show up as you are, not as you're expected to be. There's power in being raw. There's freedom in being real. And there's peace in finally taking off the disguise you've worn for far too long. When the noise stops, when the crowd leaves, when the lights fade, that's when your hidden self begins to speak. In the silence, there's no one to impress, no mask to wear, no performance to keep up. It's just you and your truth. Most people can't handle that kind of silence because it reveals too much. It exposes the thoughts they've been running from, the emotions they've buried, the dreams they've delayed. In the quiet, there are no distractions to protect you from yourself. You start to feel everything you've ignored: the pain, the guilt, the emptiness, the hunger for something real. That silence isn't your enemy, it's your mirror. It reflects everything you've refused to face in the noise of the world. The hidden self speaks softly, but its voice carries power. It tells you what you truly value, what you truly fear, what you truly need. The more you listen, the more you understand who you are without the layers, without the filters. Silence teaches you discipline. It teaches you to hear your instincts, to trust your intuition, to see what really matters. When you learn to sit in stillness, you stop seeking validation and start finding clarity. The world will always try to keep you distracted because silence is dangerous. It wakes you up. It reminds you that the truth doesn't need an audience. It only needs your attention. The journey of transformation doesn't begin when life gets easier. It begins when you decide to face the real you. Not the version that smiles in front of others, not the version that hides behind achievements or titles, but the raw, unfiltered you that shows up in the quiet moments when no one's watching. That's where truth lives. It's in your failures, in your frustrations, in the parts of your story you try to erase. The world teaches you to focus on success, but growth doesn't come from what went right. It comes from what broke you and how you rebuilt. Every challenge, every mistake, every heartbreak is a mirror showing you what still needs healing. When you meet yourself in that space of honesty, you stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress. Transformation doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens every time you choose to learn instead of run, to reflect instead of react, to forgive instead of resent. The real you isn't found in what you show others. It's found in what you show yourself when life gets hard. When you look at your flaws and say, asterisk, I can do better. Asterisk, when you see your pain and still choose to grow from it. When you face your shadow and refuse to let it define you. That's the moment you stop being controlled by your past and start becoming who you were always meant to be.